And good day to you. Welcome. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network. We are going to be talking about something today that you might think, well, it's a little premature, although you look around the world today, maybe around the city that you live in, and you've got Christmas decorations up already, or, you've got certainly Halloween stuff and people kind of getting ready for the different holidays and so forth. And Debbie, what we want to talk about today is we're taking kind of a look way ahead, because even now, at a time like this, some people start to get stressed and anxious, and anxiety creeps in, and they're thinking, man, what am I going to do for the holidays? And, gee, I got to get together with my family again, or I got to go see these people, or, do all this, gift buying and stuff. So this is a look way ahead, Debbie, and we're just going to ask our listeners if they're maybe already dreading the holidays. What do you think about that topic?
I think it's a great topic, Jerry. And Betty weighed in on Facebook already, and she said, I never dread the holidays. How ridiculous. And I would say, congratulations, Betty. That's awesome that you never dread the holidays. That's exactly where we should all be at. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that do dread the holidays for various reasons, and we really do want to explore every angle and maybe help others so that they can become like Betty and they never dread the holidays. So we want you to weigh in on this this idea of about what we're approaching the holiday season. It's coming up very fast. We're hearing it, the Christmas music playing already in stores. The hustle and bustle is starting already with shopping and sales and all that kind of stuff. So we want to hear your take on this about how we can not dread the holidays, what we can do to arm ourselves, guard ourselves, and to keep us focused on the real reason for the season. The bumper sticker, Christ is the reason for the season. So 1-800-585-9396. That's the number to dial. You'll get to listen live while Matt, talks to you at first, but Matt's our call screener, and before you get on the air, you'll be able to listen live so you won't miss a thing. So we're asking you to please call in and share your take.
All right, that number again is 800-585-9396. I just want to give a quick shout out to, even though our show is not on Mater Dei Radio this week, in Portland and Vancouver and Salem and Eugene and Springfield, because the Share-a-thon is taking place for Mater Dei Radio, and I am actually hosting that. So I hustled from the on-air studio over to another studio to host this show today. But Debbie, you and I get so many great calls from Mater Dei Radio listeners, so we're just grateful for them and all the affiliates that carry the show.
We do, and we're so glad. And Jerry, that's so cool that you just came off of your shift, right? And came right into doing our show.
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing we start the show at 2 minutes after the hour.
You don't sound out of breath, so that's really good.
Well, it's about a 10-foot walk, so.
Okay, good deal. Well, we're talking about, do you dread the holidays? And social media, we're getting a lot of response there. We'd really love to hear from you. So if you could dial in at 1-800-585-9396 and share your take on this. We both think it's an important subject for us to tackle together, because keep in mind, this is a peer ministry, and we do this together. You teach us, we help you, we all do this together as the body of Christ, and it's very, very important for us to weigh in on different subjects so we can help each other. And someone may be listening right now who gets extremely depressed approaching the holidays for maybe because of family problems, or maybe something had happened during holiday season and it reminds them of it. And so there's a lot of depression rates goes pretty sky high during the holiday season. So maybe this show could help somebody approach the holiday season in a different way.
All right, well, we heard from Betty on Facebook. Betty says, I never dread the holidays. How ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Betty, what we're talking about here is not dreading, the celebration of Christmas, for example. You know what I dread? Here's why I think this is not ridiculous. And that is because, first of all, there are, like you said, about Labor Day, the Christmas decorations and stuff come out for sale in the stores. You've got this, what I think is ridiculous? What do they call it? Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, where the store, it becomes so crass and so commercial. So what I dread looking forward to, Debbie, is the hijacking of the holidays. Thanksgiving, really, everything's about the latest sale. Of course, Christmas is all about making money. That's really what the world wants to do. And yet it's really kind of schizophrenic when you think about it. Because what is Christmas? It's by definition, it's the birth of Jesus Christ. Everybody wants to celebrate a holiday, but nobody wants to acknowledge what it is. So when we say, do you dread the holidays, these are some of the things we're talking about, as well as what you said, Debbie. It's a time of loneliness for a lot of people. It's a time of anxiety and depression. People worry about finances. They feel like they're obligated. I've got to buy 50 presents for all 4 of my kids, and we're going to go broke. I mean, these are the things we're talking about right now as we look ahead a couple of months. This is kind of it's an early time in the fall to be talking about this, but I don't think too early, Debbie.
I couldn't agree more, and I was just, no pun intended, I'm looking at the call screens, and the calls lit up like a Christmas tree. Literally. So the calls are coming in, the takes are coming in, and I think that's really, really good, because that means that you do have a very, interested position on this, and I think this could help us. So if you want to jump in, there's one open phone line, I think, right now, 1-800-585-9396. Jerry, you mentioned, and I said it at the beginning of the show, but you mentioned about depression getting up there during the holiday season. I would love if we could finish this show where we could maybe impart some tools to people to really stay focused on the reason for the season, Jesus. And if we could give people really concrete tools, maybe that would help with some of that anxiety and that stress, and even the financial stress that's on people, like you said, Jerry, about trying to buy the best gift, this gift, or you got to remember everybody, because God forbid you forget anybody during Christmas. You want to be on that Christmas card list. So yeah, there's a lot we can do today, and I really encourage you to call in and share it, or on Facebook or on Twitter. Keep the conversation going.
Yeah, again, some of you may be thinking, well, why are they doing a quote-unquote holiday show? It's early October. As Debbie said, it's important that we go into times of the year like this with a plan. And I'm as guilty as anybody, because my whole life it's only half joking, Debbie, that I'm kind of like December 24th, 8:30 p.m. Christmas shopper.
Oh, no.
I'm out there with the last minute people, because I don't know, maybe I have a sort of an aversion to Christmas shopping, perhaps because of how commercial the world has made it, but I resist so much, and then I think, okay, there's a few people I got to get things for. Let's see, are the stores still open? Tomorrow's Christmas, and then I'll dash out and get it done. So what we're trying to do, folks, is take this, it's way down the road, or so it seems, but this time passes very quickly too, Debbie. The holidays are going to be right upon us.
Absolutely. And I know we got to take a break, but when we come back, Jerry, I want to share that about a December 24th shopper. It's very interesting that you brought that up and you actually disclosed that, because there's an interesting angle about the December 24th person that waits till the very last minute. And that's why the stores have stayed open till midnight, Jerry. So just for people like you. Well, anyway, we're going to take a quick break. You hear that music. When we come back, we're going to share your takes on this at 1-800-585-9396. Stay with us. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We'll be right back.
I was debating an atheist online who said, Chris, you believing in God is like a kid coming down on Christmas morning, seeing presents under his tree, and saying, oh, look, presents, there must be a Santa. I replied, really? Because you not believing in God is like a kid coming down on Christmas morning, seeing presents under his tree, and saying, oh, look, presents, they must have exploded themselves here. No child has ever been that crazy. Now, a kid might get the identity of the gift giver wrong, but when he sees presents under the tree, he knows they didn't put themselves there. Likewise, everything made of matter has a source or an origin outside of itself, from your chair to your morning coffee to you. Have you ever stopped to consider that the universe is something made of matter? It had to come from something outside of itself that had the power to create a universe. The Big Bang did not Big Bang itself. There is a God. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com.
This is Patrick Coffin. Join me for Catholic Answers Live. It's 2 hours dedicated to Catholic apologetics and evangelization. Designed for Catholics and non-Catholics alike, it's your opportunity to hear from and talk with some of the leading apologists and theologians in the church today. You've got questions? We've got Catholic Answers. Catholic Answers Live, weekdays 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
Hi, this is Father Mitch Pacwa. You're listening to the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
So glad to have you with us. Take two with Jerry and Debbie. We're talking about something that may seem a little ways out, but the time is going to pass quickly, and we just all want to kind of come together, hear your takes, and have a plan for being prepared as the holidays come. Are you already dreading the holidays? And just that dread part, as we talked about, is not, certainly we don't want to dread the celebration of the birth of Christ, and even Thanksgiving for that matter. The Thanksgiving to God for all the gifts that we have and the freedoms that we have in our country and so forth. But before we go to calls, Debbie, I think even with the way that the world presents the holidays, it can sort of it could even take some of the joy out of things like celebrating the birth of Christ. Not that it should, and we shouldn't let it do that. But I think some people can say, "Oh man, it just." I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. What you mean because of the secular world, impacting us?
It's so twisted and turned around.
It's twisted. That's a great word. Yeah.
So
no, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Jerry, you're so right. But the thing I just got to get back to you about the December 24th shopper. I did that 1 year. I shared this in an earlier show. 1 year when I had small children, life just got in the way, and I waited till the day before Christmas to do everything. I thought I was going to die. I really did. My heart was pounding all day. I was racing against the clock. I was extremely stressed out. I ended up coming home and falling on the couch, and I didn't even have the energy to wrap the gifts. That was the year that I threw everything in bags because I just thought, I just can't do this. I mean, I had such a stressful holiday that I promised myself I would never be like that again because of racing around trying to figure out, am I going to forget somebody? What's going to happen if I see them the next day during Christmas and the stores are closed and I don't have a gift for them? And then I found myself buying an excess of gifts that I ended up storing in the garage because I didn't you just didn't want to have that one person that you forgot. So that December 24th, I know it might sound enticing to wait till then, but I think it could be very stressful. Did you find it stressful, or did you?
Yeah, well, I don't like shopping anyway, so.
Okay, yeah. You're one of I know, most men don't like shopping. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Well, what did it feel like? Were people nice to you on December 24th, or were they?
Oh, sure, yeah. They'll take your money anytime. Hey, let's go to calls. It's
okay.
Take two with Jerry and Debbie as we look ahead to the holidays. How does it make you react, feel, act? How do you spend your time, your money? We're going to talk first with Sarah in Owensboro, Kentucky, listening on FM 107.9. Sarah, you're on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for calling.
Awesome. Well, I work in retail, and a lot of what I see is it's a very commercialized Christmas. And it's just, like y'all said, it's about the gifts and, the money and, stores are getting away from saying Merry Christmas. It's all Happy Holidays. And, people feel pressure to buy all these presents, to make everything nice. That's what my mom lives for, is making things nice. So I think something that would help Christmas is to take advantage of, like, the Advent season, kind of like Lent, in a way that you prepare your heart for the coming of Christ and Easter. Use Advent to, cultivate an attitude of gratitude. And if people were more thankful, I think there would be less pressure. It's not that you have to give gifts, but you have the resources and the means to give gifts. You know, if you're broke, make something. Take the time to write a card, knit a sweater. I mean, but it's just, I don't think there's a very thankful attitude when it comes to Christmas.
Right. Right. Sarah, I just wanted to say real quickly, you you were probably in our minds when we were researching this topic, because you actually said two of the items that we wanted to cover today. So thank you so very much. One of them being Advent and taking advantage of the programs and the Advent missions that are happening at various parishes during the Advent season. Absolutely. That's what you want to do, because that does keep you focused on what the reason is for the holiday. And how we prepare as Catholic Christians during the Advent season is vitally important for leading up to Christ's birth. And so, yes, that is perfect. The other thing, too, as you said about gift giving, Jerry and I, when we were researching this, talked about how, you know, it might be wise for people so they can cut down on the costs of gift giving. Like you said, make something for someone else, or do something for someone else. You know, there's a friend of mine that I know that she gives all of her kids a gift of an action of hers that she's promising to do in the next month after Christmas. And so it would be something like she'll come and clean their house, you know, or she'll, it's really cute, and it's very meaningful, and she puts it in a card, and it really means a lot because it's coming from her heart, and she's doing something, and it's not just, you know, the gift and the opening of the gift, but they're really tapping into who she is as a mom. And that's just a beautiful, I mean, that's all what the Christmas season is about with Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus. I mean, the selfless gift of everybody that took part in that nativity. And so, you know, that's another thing. The last thing I just want to ask you real quickly, and then I'm going to turn over to Jerry, is that do you have a store policy? You said you work in retail. Is there a store policy that you're not allowed to say Merry Christmas, or do you have a store policy that says you're not supposed to, but if somebody says Merry Christmas back to you, like if a customer says it to you, you can say it back?
We actually do not. I work for a private business that's actually owned by my family. Okay. And, you know, something that my manager says is we still say Merry Christmas, you know, to the Black Friday line out the door, and we'll get a bunch of cheers. Woo. You know, we're in Kentucky, the Bible Belt kind of thing. I mean, we have a lot of Christian people here. So, I mean, they appreciate that, but they see, you know, if you're shopping online, it's all just happy holidays. I mean, in Christmas and in that whole season, people just, like, lose their mind. Mm-hmm. You know, they just get so focused on the gifts, and they forget that, like, these retailers they're still people. You know, they'll get upset with you if you can't give them, you know, a better deal because they're buying, I work at a shoe store. They're buying 10 pair of shoes, and, I mean, we do what we can, but I mean, we can't give you the shoes for free, and then they get upset. It's just money. But,
yeah,
that's frustrating, too.
Yeah, Sarah, so many good things you said there. And first of all, God bless you. You know, this is, God's will for you right now that you be in that environment. And really, it can be just a tremendous opportunity for you to, I don't know how free you are to, like you said, to make sure that people know that you believe, you understand that it's about Christ, it's about Christmas. But God bless you for your work there. And you made a good point, and Debbie too, both of you, about, really using Advent as a time to prepare for Christmas. And Advent is really just around the corner, a few weeks from now. And one thing about being in Catholic radio, I will say, is that I think most, if not all, Catholic radio stations, really are very adhere closely to the liturgical calendar. You won't hear a lot of Christmas music until Christmas time, maybe some leading up to it, but there's a lot of Advent music too. So let's all be sure and spend some of that Advent and preparation time with our Catholic radio stations and getting ready to celebrate the holidays properly. Thanks, Sarah, for the phone call. Great to hear from you. Next up is Gloria in Corning, New York on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Hello, Gloria.
Hi.
Hello. What's your take today?
Yeah, I'm a secular Franciscan, and I'm 62. And my kids have I have 3 children and 7 grandchildren, and they've kind of gotten used to me giving less and sticking with more of the Franciscan charism, which includes, like, peace, joy, poverty, and us being simple. So as far as the poverty part goes, I've gotten used to spending less and being able to, like, maybe give more to the church or something. So what I do is, like, I'm going to go out even maybe today and buy a bunch of inexpensive gift cards, so I have them on hand way ahead of time in case I don't have time to shop. And I'm going to get out my nativity scene early, like probably around Thanksgiving, and make sure I have that out. I'm going to get out make sure I have some religious movies in the house about Christ's birth, so I could watch those through the season. And if I go visit somebody out of town, I'll try to schedule a retreat at a local monastery or something, so I could do my visit and also have prayer time. So, and St. Francis was the one who was the first one to provide a nativity scene, but it was a living nativity scene. Mm-hmm. And our Franciscan group always has what we call the Franciscan crib service right after Christmas. It's a very nice service. Anyway, if anybody is interested in the Franciscans, they have a national website.
Okay. Well, yeah, Gloria, you've said a lot of things there. And I want to make a point, too. As you were talking, I got to thinking of maybe some of the things I said early in the program. And, I love Christmas music. I love lights. I love trees. I'm in Portland, Oregon this week for a share-a-thon. They've got a street called Peacock Lane. Many of our listeners perhaps have heard of it. The cars line up for miles to go just drive slowly down Peacock Lane and come back, and they sell hot chocolate, and this goes on weeks before Christmas and through like the first part of January. I think it's a beautiful tradition. So I think, Debbie, you would join me in saying that, this isn't about, poo-pooing, trees and nativity sets. And I know Gloria wasn't saying this. I just wanted to mention this. But one thing that, came to my mind is one way to alleviate the commercialism and the crunch of leading right up to the weeks or days leading right up to Christmas. My sister is brilliant at this. She'll be on the lookout for sales for like 6 months, right, starting in about June or July. And I've spent Christmas with her so many times. She'll give, this or that gift or whatever. And then she'll just kind of pop out and say, oh, yeah, it was $4 on sale, and it's like a $40 sweatshirt. I think, how do you do this, So I think if we're smart and prudent and look for sales and stuff, we can avoid a lot of this and maybe even get that Christmas shopping done very early.
Well, that's to your point, Jerry. That's exactly what I was trying to share and echoing what Gloria said. And thank you so much, Gloria, for calling in and sharing your take on this and your beautiful explanation of how you approach in the Franciscan way. And I'm glad you brought up the live nativity of St. Francis of Assisi. We did the show yesterday on St. Francis of Assisi, and I think we forgot to mention that about he actually did the or he's credited for doing the first live nativity. But I actually, Jerry, keep my nativity set up the whole entire year. And at Advent, I pull, the baby Jesus until he's born. And I pull the baby Jesus, and we have the nativity scene all year long. And I think, I agree with you, Jerry. I'm the same way. I love the lights. I love the feeling of it. I love the beauty of Christmas. But I think the goal for all of us is to stay in the moment and appreciate every moment of the process, the preparation. That's what Advent's all about. That's why I love the liturgical calendar, the Catholic liturgical calendar. How cool is that? Because they know how we must prepare. And that's why we all should take advantage of the Advent season in our parishes so that we can stay centered and focused. Oh, there's that music. See, I love music, Jerry.
Even when it's not Christmas music, right?
That's right. It's so beautiful.
Gloria, thanks for sharing with us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. All of you are going to get on the line. Nelson, Diane, Mary Catherine, another Diane. Stay with us. We're coming right back on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
What's stopping you from becoming a Catholic?
Why can't women become priests?
I don't understand why I have to earn salvation.
How is it possible that God created everything?
Why do I need to confess my sins to a priest?
Why is the Catholic Church so unwilling to
The Catholic Church is too rich.
Catholics worship Mary and are committed.
As far as I'm concerned, all religions are equal.
You are called to communion with Dr. David Anders. Today, 2 p.m. Eastern, on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
Many atheists today try to paint a picture of the universe that precludes human significance, i.e., we're not that important. However, the characteristics of the laws of physics, commonly called anthropic coincidences, seem to suggest otherwise. Consider, for example, the low level of entropy. According to Oxford University professor Dr. Roger Penrose, the odds of our universe having the ordered energy that it had at the Big Bang by pure chance, it's 10 raised to the 10 raised to the 123 to 1 against. These odds are akin to a monkey randomly typing on a typewriter and producing the whole corpus of Shakespeare's writings within 2 weeks. Needless to say, the odds against getting the ordered energy needed for life were extremely high. But yet, here we are. A chance coincidence? I think reason begs for a more responsible explanation, such as a transcendent intelligent creator. I'm Carlo Broussard with your Magis Minute, the Magis Center at magiscenter.com.
Get an insider's look at the latest information from EWTN. Sign up for Wings, EWTN's weekly email newsletter. Get the latest information about live events, special features, and guests. Connect with EWTN on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Just go to EWTN.com and click on the Wings link to sign up. Don't miss a minute of all that's happening at EWTN. Get your wings today.
Thank you for joining us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network. We're talking today about dreading the holidays. Do you dread the holidays? Do you find the holidays exciting? Well, I just wanted to touch base again with our Facebook posts that are coming in. Christine said holidays are for family. And Kermit said, I never dread the holidays. They bring our family together. And Faye said, every time I hear Christmas music, I feel excited. And that is very, very true. But one thing I think might be wise for all of us to do is to hold up our brothers and sisters in prayer during the holiday season whose families don't come together during the holidays. There are a lot of divided families and a lot of stresses that happen during holidays, and it causes a lot of angst in a lot of people. So maybe we could remember our brothers and sisters in Christ whose families aren't united. Okay, I'm ready to go to the next call. Ready?
Sure.
Nelson in Rockford, Illinois. Hi, Nelson. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Hi, Nelson.
Jerry, Debbie? Nelson here.
We are here. Thanks for calling.
Oh, well, thank you for a great message and another great show. Yes, I too have joy and dread, I guess, with the holidays. The joy, comes from, knowing the family's going to be getting together and seeing folks you don't see a lot, food, all the great food we enjoy, and we thank the Lord for that. But at the same time, I too get trapped from time to time with, trying to go out and get the right gift to the right person so that they know that you really thought about them when you picked out the gift, especially for them. And that's really, really hard for me because I'm a terrible shopper. Like I was saying, men don't like shopping. I'm one of them. Terrible shopper. But what I'd like to share with the listeners is what I've been trying to do. They have those TV plugs, they come on all the time. For real inexpensive items, and you can get 2 for 1 and that kind of thing. So I've been trying to pick up an item or two through the years, and so that by the end of the year I have some items that I can give to folks. Won't have to do no late minute shopping and all that kind of thing. I just have to figure out who I should give what. That they're going to say, oh, Nelson thought about me for this gift. So that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, some good points. Go ahead, Debbie. You were going to
No,
jump
I
in.
was just going to say Nelson should go shopping with you, Jerry, on December 24th. You two could be together as you shop. No, I'm teasing you guys. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I love the fact, Nelson, that you're really you take a calculated, discerning approach to that. I think a lot of times we wonder what will a person need, what will they use, what is going to benefit them, and what I've kind of steered toward, and this maybe isn't something everybody's going to do, but faith resources, and that's going to depend too, on kind of where the person, the family member, the friend, or whoever is in their faith walk. Sometimes they, be a little bit turned off or wouldn't appreciate it. Not that you still shouldn't get them, a book or a CD about the faith or something, but those are always good. And Debbie, I know that if I can just get a shameless plug in here for Vocation Brew, I think you decided this year, didn't you, that just everybody is going to get a bag of coffee.
Jerry, that was my takeaway for today.
Oh, really? And I just spoil it for all your friends who are listening too.
I know. Thanks, Jer. Okay, I won't tell you the second part of it. Well, I have to tell you because it's kind of cool. I've got a faith-based mug, Christmas mug, and then everybody's going to get a amazing coffee from Vocation Brew in a gift bag, and it's just like you said, Jerry. It's you have a spiritual gift, and then you have the Vocation Brew. And if anybody else is interested in that, that's what I'm giving this year. So all my close friends, Jerry let the cat out of the bag. You're getting Vocation Brew, and it is the coffee is amazing. There is not a single ounce of a bitter aftertaste to this coffee. The Nosa Familia family makes it, and I got to tell you, oh my goodness, is it good coffee?
Nelson, what else? You want to add anything else onto that?
Well, just one thing to add. That's a good idea about thinking more about, faith and inspired, gifts to give folks, because you can always cater those toward their spirit, and be well received. But the last subtle little point I will make in my teaching, that I like to think that the Christmas time we're actually celebrating our largest conception and everything, because the Lord was actually conceived during the winter time, and then he's actually born more in the fall time. But over the years, we've come to think of Christmas as birth and everything. But we always have to keep in mind the reason for the season. And so I thought I wanted to share that as well. That and maybe if we understood that conception was what's most important, then maybe that would help with some of the things going on in the world about birth and conception. So just wanted to add that too.
Nelson, great take on this. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your kind words and your inspiring words with us on Take Two. You've taught us, and so thank you for taking that time. Real quickly, Jerry, I don't know if I mentioned it, in case anybody else wants to do it. If you want to give those Vocation Brew, and this is the plug that I think is a great plug, you go to vocationbrew.com, and that's where you can buy the coffee there. Here's the thing that's really cool, and this is what I love about it, Jerry, and this is what I'm going to put in the gift bag, is that the proceeds go to raising awareness for priestly vocations. So that makes me really happy. So the gift keeps going.
All right, Nelson, thank you very, very much for that call. 800-585-9396. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're taking a bit of a long-term look ahead. Are you already dreading the holidays? Again, as we explained, if you just joined us, we don't in any way want to imply that we or you or anybody should dread giving thanks at Thanksgiving or celebrating the birth of Christ at Christmas. But there are aspects of the holidays that really cause people difficulty. It's like, I've got to get together with that family member, or are they going to be at the Christmas party? And then there's loneliness and depression. And Debbie, there's overeating. There's all kinds of, maybe you have a difficulty controlling your eating. You think, well, I've got to go to all these holiday parties. I'm going to put on, 20 pounds. Then there's the commercialism and the crush of crowds and elbows being thrown on Black Friday. So this is what when we say, are you dreading the holidays? These are the things kind of we're alluding to today. And Diane in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania has a take on this, listening on Holy Family Radio. Diane, welcome. You're on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. How are you?
Hello?
Hello, Diane. You're up. Go ahead.
Is this me? I didn't know which Diane you wanted.
Yep, Harrisburg, Diane. Thanks so much for calling, Diane.
Well, thank you for taking my call. This is the first time in my life I've ever called into a radio show, but you hit me in the heart.
Oh, welcome.
Wow. Thank you.
As working in the retail business, I have to say we do our best. And I know we can't be fast enough. We can't give you the best price. We can't do this. We can't do that. But when you get to that register, I think it's just a Christian duty to smile at that person and say thank you and even say Merry Christmas. Mm-hmm. I think it keeps us away from our families because we're serving. And it would just be nice to see the good in people instead of, as one of the other callers said, see the monster in them. It has changed my holidays the past 2 years. This is my third Christmas. I'm not sure I can do it anymore. But I just want to put that spin on that about, as she had said, we are people too. And I think that's forgotten. And when we shop late and we do all that stuff, it keeps that person behind the register away from their families.
Right. Right. Diane, let me ask you a question. So you said you work in retail. I want to ask you the same question I asked Sarah. Do you have a store policy that says that you can't say Merry Christmas, but if somebody says it back to you, you can say it back?
Well, I have to be honest. I don't believe that we do. If we do, I don't know it, and I'm saying Merry Christmas.
Okay.
You kind of, when you talk to people, you learn who you can say that to.
Sure.
And if you're really lucky, they'll say it first.
Right.
So, yes, I am me. That's what I do.
Well, and I thank you. You're doing a ministry work, especially during the stressful holiday season. I mean, that is ministry that you are helping others. Like you said, you're serving others, and it's keeping you away from your family. And I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, unfortunately, when I go shopping under stressful situations during the holiday seasons, and I've seen other people's behavior, it's unbelievable. I mean, I can tell you, we should write a book on it, Jerry. It's unbelievable. I've seen moms and dads like literally screaming at their children, while they're shopping for Christmas gifts. And I'm like, okay, what's wrong with this equation? Something's wrong with this. You're shopping to give a gift to someone else to make them happy, but yet you're so stressed out that you're, screaming at your kids. And I understand that because the stress is coming out of people so badly. And I think that's the reason why we did this show, is to not have that stress creep in. And Diane, you're right on the front line of that, where people's stresses are just coming out in ways that are not proper Christian behavior, because you're absolutely correct. And it will affect you, because there's no way. I mean, people can say that you can shrug stuff like that off, but if somebody's going to be rude to you and not smile and impatient with you and, be derogatory. I've seen some people really, the retail clerks, I don't know how they take it sometimes. I've seen some really brutal conversations happen at the checkout places. And so, Diane, I commend you for hanging in there. You sounds like you're going to do it again this year, and we're going to pray, all of us pray for you, that you are surrounded with great people, and it gives you an uplifting spirit.
This year, probably one of the worst things that I've experienced was when everybody was stressed out. We were wrapping gifts. We were doing this. And you hear this one woman's voice say, I don't understand why Christmas has to be so religious.
Oh,
I just was just awestruck. I couldn't even.
Yeah,
I couldn't even
flabbergasted. Yeah.
So
yeah, how do you respond to that? I mean, what are you going to do? What did you smile and just say Merry Christmas, or what?
Yeah, it's just been an eye-opening experience, and I think everybody should have to do it to see what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Diane, it's kind of like saying, why does the sun have to be so bright?
Yeah.
Well, because it is.
Right.
Why does Christmas have to be so religious? Again, this Debbie, I'm sure we're going to be doing shows about this, closer to the holidays as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said before, it's total cultural schizophrenia when everybody wants to celebrate a holiday that they don't believe in. It's like, something's wrong with this.
Right.
So we'll definitely do shows on that. Diane, thanks for calling. We got to get to a break here right now. When we come back, more of your calls. The next Diane in Denver, and then Mary Catherine and Rachel, 1-800-585-9396. Are you already dreading the holidays? If so, why? That's what we're talking about today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Jerry Usher with Debbie Georgianni. We're coming right back. Stay with us here on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Mother Angelica.
You know, you can be too generous. For example, if a man comes home with his paycheck and say he's just got $100, he's got 5 children, he's got rent, gas, and electric to pay, and he sees a poor man there, and he gives him the whole $100. And you say, oh, God's going to reward him. But see, the gas and electric company aren't going to think that way. That man was too generous. Now you say, well, how could he be too generous? He has his family to think about. He has his rent to pay. These are just debts and just obligations. Now he could have given part of that, but to throw away all of it is to use a virtue to an excess. Now you can do that with virtues. You can do that with any good thing.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
Hi, this is Marcus Grodi. Thanks for listening to the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
We're going to get right back to your calls. I mentioned early in the show that I am in Portland, Oregon this week at Mater Dei Radio. They have stations in the Portland area and Eugene, Oregon area. They're not hearing our show today because their share-a-thon is going on, and I am hosting that for them this week with the exception of this hour. I kind of slipped into another studio to do the show here today. And it's Pledge Drive or Share-a-thon or Care-a-thon, whatever stations call it. It's that season going on around the country. Debbie, you and I will be at the Station of the Cross next week, and we're looking forward to that. I know you'll join me. I want to give you a chance to comment on this, Debbie, in a second. You'll join me in encouraging all listeners. Folks, there may have never been a time when we needed a voice in Catholic media more than we need it today. And for those who are listening on Holy Family Radio, they are in Grand Rapids and I believe Kalamazoo, Michigan, and those areas. Sherry Brownrigg, our colleague Debbie, is there hosting their pledge drive for this week. And I just want to give a shout out to anyone listening on Holy Family Radio in that region or wherever you happen to be. Please make it a Christmas gift if you want. So become a monthly donor to your Catholic radio station. But Debbie, I know how important that is to you as well.
It is, Jerry. You said that so beautifully. I just wanted to share too that you can. That's a great gift to give to others. You can give a Christmas card to others and share with them, your fellow Catholic Christians, that you pledged to your local radio station in honor of them. And you can do that, and that's a great gift. I mean, it's an eternal gift. So please continue to support Catholic radio in all ways, especially with awareness, to raise awareness and to invite other people to listen or to watch EWTN television. It's vitally important now more than ever that we have, like Jerry said, a strong Catholic voice. Okay, the other Diane in Denver, Colorado. Hi, Diane. You're listening on EWTN.com. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Hi, Jerry and Debbie. How are you?
Good.
Doing
How are
well,
you?
Diane. Thanks for calling.
I'm good, thank you. Yes, I wanted to share a letter with you that my dad had wrote to my siblings and I one year in 1997, and my father has since passed away in 2002. But it just says, to all my siblings, we had a nice time on Thanksgiving. I thought I would write to you and tell you about the people experiences during the holiday that I have noticed. I found this time of the year to be real stressful on everybody. I do not know the reason, but I know it's really Down syndrome. People always seem to be moody, depressed, gloomy, subject to moods, temperamental, you name it, and that's how they feel. I think because they want a perfect Christmas for all, and all I know that it is an impossibility. I'm sure it's relative to money. I did not know that if you all prepare for this, and be aware of its capabilities, that it really helps to prevent hostility and provide understanding. So you all be prepared and don't worry about satisfying everybody's needs. It's just the family's happiness that really matters. So you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Love, your dad.
That is beautiful. Your dad's was a wise man. What is your dad's first name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Okay. Wow. Wow. God rest his soul, and how beautiful. What a beautiful letter. And do you read that every year in your family?
You know what? All my siblings and my mother included, they all have it posted up in their house somewhere with the frame of his picture. So
that is beautiful.
Yeah, Debbie said it best, I think, Diane. He was a wise, wise man. And speaking of Christmas, the wise men, of course, but I think it's just so important that we realize, what is the most important gift that we have to give to others? It's ourselves. It's time together as a family. If the Christmas tree didn't have a single package underneath of it, but a family was together, it's a perfect Christmas. I think we get so caught up, Debbie and Diane. I'd love either one of your thoughts on this. We get so caught up in thinking, well, for my kids to be happy, I've got to give them all these gifts and stuff. And that, I'm not saying don't give them gifts and so forth, but we think that it's the material things or the stuff, But I know Deacon Harold, a good friend of ours, speaks all the time. He says, and when he talks to men especially, he says, kids don't want your stuff and toys. He says they want you. They want your time. And so that's really the most important thing. Debbie, I know you could probably comment on that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Deacon Harold. He does say it best, and he does give us those tools to be able to stay focused on what is important in life. But Diane, just real quickly, your dad, Lawrence, I heard you read about the letter, something to do with the fact that people are trying to make this holiday perfect, and it's not about that. And you are so right, because oh my goodness, you are so right. You hit a very deep heart wound with me, because I struggle with perfectionism, and it's funny that you're not funny in a funny way, but funny in an ironic way that you're bringing that up, because that's the years that I had the most stressful Christmases were the years that I tried to make it so perfect.
Yeah, and I think everyone tries to do that. But like I said, he just shared that with us one year. It was in 97, and he passed away in 02. So we all cherish that letter, and we all have it hanging up in our households. And we'll be going home for Christmas this year to see my family, and I'm looking forward to that holiday.
Yeah, and you've got a priceless treasure there, Diane, and I hope that you probably have already thought about this, but just make sure that gets passed on to your kids and their kids and so forth. This is the kind of thing that could serve as a reminder for many, many generations to come. So, Diane, God bless you. Thank you for calling and sharing what you did on the program today. You've really blessed us.
Oh, God bless you too, and thank you.
All righty. We're going to get to Debbie here, as many folks as we can. I know Mary Catherine has been holding very patiently. She's in Central Illinois. Mary Catherine, you're next on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Welcome.
Thank you for taking my call. I love your program.
Thank you.
I am a mother of 10. We have 9 children married, and one passed away at the age of 16. We have 30 grandchildren, and by Christmas this year we'll have 30 great-grandchildren. So we have put our priorities in people, not money, and we started 40 years ago to give a box of groceries to a needy family, and our kids always saw that. They had all they needed, not everything they wanted, but they always were told they were loved, and they knew they were loved, and that's the thing, Christmas tree and love. And now that we're older, we don't even put up a Christmas tree. It's just work for them and work for me and clean, and, but it's always the Christmas crib, and we have that all through the season, and we keep it up until Family Life Sunday, which is a week after Christmas, so it's the octave. But we use the Advent wreath in Advent, and if a new bride is in the family and the grandchildren, we have 17 grandchildren married.
Praise God.
But we give them an Advent wreath, beginning of Advent. How can they not show it if they get it as a gift? At Christmas, we always have a Jesus birthday cake, so the little ones know what Christmas is about. It's Jesus' birthday. And we just, you just got to get your priorities straightened out, money or love. And then even if our altar society in our parish, they always have a Christmas party. Yes, I feel very sorry for the few people who don't have much going on through Christmas season, but everybody is so stressed, and I just say, let's just skip it this year and have a family night at home. And we have got kids that have made tarts. We've got grandchildren that'll give you a Christmas card and say, what do you want for Christmas? I will make you pies. When do you need fruit pies? And how many? And, that's some of our grandsons are doing that. I mean, they just, 3 of our kids make their homemade caramels, wrap them individually. One runs a welding repair, and that's his gift for all his people. They start coming in November and asking, do you have your caramels made yet? I have one son that's a banker, and he gives them to all his people. It's just his project. But these people have got, and everybody knows it comes from your heart to cook caramels, cut them, wrap them, and then give them.
Right.
I want to spend Christmas with you and your family.
Oh, Gary, that's what I was going to ask.
Were you going to say the same thing?
Yes, I was going to say, Mary Catherine, can I join your family? Sounds like a blast.
You got room for a couple extra kids or actually siblings, probably, for you.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. What a beautiful, blessed family. You guys are fortunate, very fortunate in the way you do it and extend it out to the greater community and to each other. I mean, you're a testament to all of us. Thank you. Thank you for calling in, Mary Catherine.
Thanks, Mary Catherine. We're running short on time. I'm so glad you shared what you did, though, because the things you're talking about, again, Debbie and I, and I'm sure Mary Catherine, you wouldn't either, discourage people from, giving stuff and gifts and, trying to figure out what your kids and family members want and so forth. But this is, I hope people who maybe haven't included these things, Debbie, that she's talking about, would start to think about it, because it's more important than ever that, as a culture is shoving Jesus out of his own birthday season, that we look ahead. Advent, prepare our hearts, Christmas, just do the right thing and just make sure that we keep Christ in Christmas, as they say. That's my takeaway.
Absolutely. Well, you knew my takeaway that I'm doing coffee this year as gifts for vocationbrew.com. That's my takeaway. That's going to be the gift I'm giving. And Rachel, we're so incredibly sorry, calling in from Rhode Island. Could you please post your take on and keep the conversation going on Facebook or on Twitter? Please forgive us. We try to get to everybody, but this show moves so fast. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about rosary stories. It's stories that are surrounding the most holy rosary. You don't want to miss this show. So we just ask you to please pray for us. And until tomorrow, have a beautiful and blessed day.